Now, 2021 is definitely a year of trade. The much talked about Continental Free Trade Agreement takes effect in January. That's tomorrow. Now, head of the after desk at the Customs Division of the Ghana Revenue Authority, Fetchin Akoto, has indicated the trade pact will go ahead with countries that are ready.
When you look at the main framework agreement, there is a provision that we should have in mind that we are all not of the same level in development. Some of the countries are more developed than the others. So in dealing with such countries, we should be very considerate, looking at their level of development. So if any country is not ready, it is right for those developed ones to help them come out with the measures, help them put in place measures that will help them to implement the AFTA. So once they come out with their difficulties, that's why we have a secretariat. The secretariats will take all the will put in the possible measures to make sure that they have the basic things in place for trading to take place. You see, our standard authorities are trying to also come out with solutions to the issue of standardization in the continent. So issues like this will be addressed. It's a very comprehensive agreement that we have come out with, almost in line with what pertains in the WTO. So all those issues will be taken care of. I don't think any country will have issues. If you have an issue, we have a dispute resolution committee within the framework that you have to lodge your complaints to.
And those are assurances from the head of the after desk at the Customs Division of the Ghana Revenue Authority. Isaac Hubert Arthur is Executive Director of the Africa Center for International Trade and Development. He joins me for a conversation as we look forward to the start of the trade deal. Great to have you on the program this afternoon, Isaac. And so finally, we are here. What do we expect to change tomorrow when the deal takes effect?
Well, thank you very much, Daryl. Thank you also to your listeners. Good afternoon to the viewers as well. And yes, the long-awaited African Continental Free Trade area takes off, God willing, January 1st, as it's anticipated. And I think it is the best thing ever to happen to the African markets. As to whether countries are better prepared, for this Continental Free Trade Agreement to commence, it's also another conversation altogether. But I'm sure that countries have had enough time to prepare for this, because as you know, it was initially supposed to start from the 1st of July. 2020, but for COVID-19, it had to be postponed to January 2021. So at least that has given countries some additional time to prepare for this operationalization. So I think that just as, I will agree that if at this stage, countries that are not ready, I'm sure will catch up. But countries that are ready should take advantage of this opportunity and then start trading. So I think that we don't have any more excuse. What we've got to do, we've got to do. This is a great, continental agreement that, have been signed. And more countries have shown more interest by ratifying the agreement over the last couple of months. So I think, yes, we don't have any excuse to delay further. We should, grab the opportunity and open the continental market.
All right, and so we had the head of the after desk at the Customs Division of the Ghana Revenue Authority, Fetchin Akoto, say the deal is going to go ahead with countries that are ready. So does that also mean that the bottlenecks have been tackled?
Yes, I mean, to a large extent, I think that both the EU Secretariat and then also even the African Continental Free Trade Agreement Secretariat, the AFCFTA Secretariat, member countries have done a lot of work, to try to, I would not say remove the entire bottlenecks, but to reduce, because bottlenecks will always be there. It's actually in implementing the agreement that we will even know some more bottlenecks. In fact, there may be bottlenecks that may exist, when we start implementing the agreements. So I think it is good to start it. Then whichever, the ones that are already known that countries are working towards, we'll continue to work towards them. And the new ones that will come up, we'll tackle. WTO didn't stand up to become WTO. If you remember, moving from the GATT system to the WTO system was a whole new era on its own, and how the WTO has fared ever since it's been in existence. There have been challenges upon challenges, and even as we speak today, WTO still has challenges, but it doesn't cease to be, the world's multilateral trading system. And that's where all of us derive, our trade policies and all of that. So if Africa has also introduced theirs, notwithstanding the challenges, the bottlenecks that we anticipate, we need to kickstart it. We need to roll it out, and then as they come, we will tackle them. We can never finish solving all our problems, but unless we start doing something, then we'll be able to see how best we are positioned to solve them when they come.
Is Ghana ready? And I'm asking this because in the days leading up to the implementation of the trade deal, we've had businesses, especially small businesses, say they don't have the muscle to compete with foreigners, foreign businesses, because they are not empowered enough.
Okay, there are several ways of assessing Ghana's readiness. Of course, it comes in various forms and all of that. We need to look at the private sector, but the two works hand in hand, because for the private sector to be able to, be ready, it will depend on the policies and then the enabling environment that have been put in place by government, But I would say that looking at Ghana, I will not say that we are fully ready in terms of capacity. If I say capacity is a big word, but in terms of financial capacity of our SMEs, because you need capital to be able to expand your operations, to be able to put in place the necessary resources, structures to be able to compete, so then that level, I don't think we have created enough incentives, or we've created enough trade financing opportunities for our SMEs. So that remains a challenge. Also, in terms of infrastructure, you and I know that we are still talking about roads. There are still more roads to build, connecting the rural communities to the urban centers and all of that. That still remains a challenge. Then we talk about productive capacity, our ability to transform the raw materials into finished goods. One district, one factory, a lot has been said about it, but practically on the ground, where are the factories? Where are the products? To be able to compete, to a certain level in any free trade agreement, you need to produce more. Because when the market is open, you are going to trade with your goods and services. So if you don't produce more to be able to sell in your local market and then be also, export the remaining ones, then you cannot be relevant in the market, because a market has goods and services available for trade. So if we've not produced enough goods, or the systems and structures are not well positioned to help the production of goods and services in this country, how are we going to sell? Because the more you export, the more you benefit from the entire agreement. So there's also the issue of productive capacity. The idea of the one district, one factory is great, but I think this is the opportune time to scale it. We need to scale that initiative, to be able to get more factories. It shouldn't just be on paper. It shouldn't just be a political talk, but it should be something that we should focus on, because this is a huge, opportunity that we have created for Africa. So I think we need to be able to increase our productive capacity, and we shouldn't just talk. Let's get more factories. Let's invest more. This is the time to diversify and get the attention on increasing our ability, our capacity to produce. So let's do that. I like the idea of automobile sector where we are getting assembly plants and all of that. It's good, but let's also push the indigenous companies like Kantanka and the rest, and more other companies, the pharmaceutical sector. We have more competitive advantage in the pharmaceutical sector as well. So let's focus and invest into those sectors and then get them to be productive enough. Let's increase their capacity for them to be able to produce more, so we can be able to export. So these are some of the things. So in terms of, our readiness, I don't think we are 100% there, but I think to a large extent that the government has tried over the past few, months and years to sort of prepare the private sector to be able to take advantage.
And listening to you, looks like we've got a lot of work ahead for us. But let's talk about the benefits, right? The reason for which we are pushing this deal. How is this beneficial to the country and for our continent?
Yeah, for us as a country, Ghana should be able to benefit from this because you have the opportunity of hosting the Secretariat. Hosting the Secretariat alone is a major boost. Not talk about employment, because there's going to be more employment in the Secretariat. And when it happens like this, the advantage of hosting the Secretariat in your country is to be able to get your locals, jobs. So I think that is a major advantage for us. In terms of also investment destination, the country becomes attractive enough because most multinational corporations will want to situate, their headquarters, the regional offices in Ghana. So that also is going to boost a lot of, inflows of investment into the country. In terms of also tourism, it's an opportunity for us to develop our tourism sector so that as these foreigners troop in, we are going to have the capacity to be able to host them. We should have good hotels, good resorts, and then develop even some of the historical sites. People will want to go and know more about it. This is a great time for us to really invest into those areas. Kakum Park shouldn't be Kakum Park as it is. When you go to where these what's the name? Where our slave trade. If we go to the castles, we need to develop and make the place very attractive. Let's put in money there. Let's invest into those areas. Get all the castles to be up to standard. Let's go to our forestry side. Get the parks, get more parks.
Okay.
Every gardens is. These are things we need to do. And once we do that, Ghana is better placed to benefit holistically. From this.
And we have just a minute on this one. I'd like you to talk about what we expect to be the climax of this push for Continental Free Trade, which is the Intra-Africa Trade Fair in the course of next year. How are preparations towards that?
Yeah, thank you very much. Intra held in Kigali, in Rwanda, from September 6th to September 12th. It's going on well. In a couple of the past few months, we have had a lot of road shows, webinars, creating the awareness. We did the 1 year to go campaign in September, this year, to kickstart the preparations. We have had more countries signing up, taking up country days, and then the country pavilions. Ghana, is getting ready to finalize contractual arrangements. Ghana has already ordered for a very huge size for the pavilion, and then also is going to bring in SMEs, Ghanaian companies. GEPA is participating in, and I think this is a great opportunity for companies to start preparing, to participate in this. 2018 was great. A lot of companies found business partners, and I think this is going to be another opportunity for our businesses to also network and get to understand how the intra-Africa trade, system works. There are governments, there are investors, and there are sellers and buyers who can meet all at the same time.
Thank you so much, Isaac Hubert Arthur, for speaking with us this afternoon on The Marketplace on the Continental Free Trade Agreement, which kickstarts on the 1st of January, which is tomorrow.